this is part D of this four-part series. So this is the last part. And in this, we're going to wrap it all up, do a little testing to make sure that the application works, and then configure the Raspberry Pi so that it will boot up automatically on power up and start running this script. And that will end this project. So enjoy. So that's it. There's only one other thing that needs, well, a couple other things that need to be done in order to get this to run automatically. First, I need to make it executable, I think. And then I need to modify the scripts that run after the X display is loaded to kick this script off. And then it's done. However, I am going to show you this thing running. So I just unplugged my tester and I'm going to plug it back in so it starts at the beginning. It's going to show some images, and this is, by the way, I'm running X Windows, so it has to transfer the displays from the Pi to here over Wi-Fi. This is not a fast thing. You've already seen it run in the pinball machine, and it's fairly responsive. It's going to be a lot slower when it's running in here. And of course, these are actually R and X-rated images that are going to be showing up, so I'm going to be fuzzing them all out. But I just did want to show you that it's going to run. It's not, the tester doesn't call for any videos. It's just stepping through different images. So you won't see any videos, but you wouldn't see any anyway, because for some reason this application, the OMX player, doesn't play in a remote window. I'm not sure. There's probably a fix for that out there too, but I'm not planning on using it that way, so I don't care. If I hook up an HDMI cable and boot the thing up, it will show that the videos. So the tester right now is just set to just show images, and that's good enough to show me that this is working. So I'm gonna plug this in, and you can see there's blinky LEDs on here, and once that LED starts blinking, there it is. It's sending. That's tells me that it's sending out the video, the attract mode video. And as you can see, you're not seeing any attract mode video. But then once it changes, now you're seeing PG rated images, and there should be 8 of them that should pop up here. So that's number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. The next one should be an R-rated image. And it is. So there's the first R-rated one, second R-rated one, third R-rated one, fourth R-rated one, fifth R-rated one, sixth R-rated one, seventh, and eighth. And now it should go to X-rated. So there's 1, 2. It does play the same one over. It's random. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now it should go into triple X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to the attract mode, which will be showing nothing. Okay, so I'm going to stop the application. So I did that test to make sure that I could test all of the LEDs, and I could test all of the multipliers and everything, and I could switch to the different modes. So it is functioning. So this like I said, the only thing I have left to do is set up that script. So I forgot where I did that. I got to go find the file that I modify. So that'll take me a couple of seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, what you see on the screen behind me is the original software booted up on the Raspberry Pi. I had to look to find out where I put the script that started the application, and it is under the home directory, the user pi .config auto start, and in the directory auto start you create a file called Sexy Girl, and this is the contents of that directory. You say this is a desktop entry, application name Sexy Girl, and you want to execute it using user bin python 3 from home pi sexygirlplayer.py. And so this will execute after the GUI has loaded and the whole XDisplay system is all configured, because those applications to show the videos and the images needs that XDisplay to be running in order to display it. So that's basically the last thing you need to do. So I need to make a copy of this file and put it on my other disk, and then it should start up at boot and run. And I believe that since I am executing this calling Python, I no longer need to make my Sexy Girl player an executable file. So I will give that a try. I'm going to make a copy of this Sexy Girl file, and I will add it to the auto start folder on the other disk, and then I'll boot it up to see if it runs. And I'll come back and give you guys a report on how that worked. Here I have my media, the old operational software with the auto start Sexy Girl script, and here is my current new system that I'm building, and I went under the Pi user, and there wasn't any .config file because that's a hidden file, and I had to remember or look up that hitting Control H will toggle those hidden files off and on. I had totally forgot about that. So in order to see those in the file manager, you have to do Control H. If you were looking at it using the ls command in the terminal window, you would just do an ls-a and it would show up. But so the Control R is the equivalent, I guess, of -a. So anyway, I went to the config directory, and there was no auto start directory in there. So I brought up a terminal and did a make dir and created the auto start directory. And then I just drug the file over. So now I have that file there. So I'm going to go ahead and hook a terminal up and reboot this and see if it starts. I don't have any way of recording that, so I'll just have to tell you that it worked or it didn't. So I'll be back in a minute. So that worked perfectly. The system booted up, came right up into the attract mode video, stepped through the 8 files for each of the different classifications or ratings, and then I went back to the attract mode just like it's supposed to. So that's it. Those few steps is all it takes to recreate this capability. I think there's some cleanup work and some stuff I can do to the script. I'm a novice at script writing, so there's certainly a lot of things that could be fixed. I do want to look at a little error recovery and some stuff like that. And then we need to make a lot more files. So we only have maybe 3 or 4 videos in each of the video classifications. and I'd like to have at least 20 or so to select from. So anyway, we got some work to do, but that's not hard. It's just the tedious part of finding the data and getting it edited. Well, hello there, Future Editing Ed here. I realized that I had forgot to show you guys one little part of this overall setup. Behind me right now you can see the default screen that you get on a Raspberry Pi when you just get it out of the box. But I don't want this background to be behind the images that are popping up. So what I want to do is make this as much as possible a completely black screen, and of course I need to rotate it so it's in portrait mode, and I didn't show you guys how to do that either. Now all of this stuff is readily available out there on the web, so it's no secret or anything. It's easy enough to find, but I'm gonna take you through it anyway and show you how to do it. So to start off with, when you're on the desktop, if you just right click, you get some desktop preferences, and you can do most of the stuff from right here. Now depending on which Raspberry Pi you have, these preferences are a little different. I think if you have a Raspberry Pi 4, everything you need to do will be in this menu bar here just about. But for me, it's not quite there on the Raspberry Pi 3. So we got to do a couple of different things. But the first thing I want to do is change this to no image. And then I want to change the color to black, which is 0, 0, 0. And that changes my background to black. So now instead of having that image there, if there's no picture or video playing, then the background will just be black. I want to hide the wastebasket and the mounted disk. I am not sure what this is. It wasn't there on my other Raspberry Pi. And when I click it open, it gives me this little application thing. So I'm just going to delete this. Now the next thing I want to do is change the menu bar. So I'm going to change these menu items to as small as possible. I'm going to change the text color to somewhere around white. It's not super critical because we don't really use it anyway. And I'm going to change the menu bar color again to black. And again, I have to type it in to get it all the way to black. Okay, so now I've made the menu bar black. I'm actually going to have to stop and do some looking up because there's a way to hide this menu bar, and it isn't in here. So I have to remember where I go to make that menu bar hide. But it'll completely roll away and you won't see anything but a black screen. So let me stop and look that up, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, to make the panel go away, all you have to do is actually go up to the menu bar, right click on it, and click on the panel settings, and then go to the Advanced tab, click minimize panel when not in use. And I'm going to set this to 0 and close. So now you can see I have a completely black screen. If this was shown on a regular monitor and not the remote desktop connection, you wouldn't have this remote desktop frame around here. Now you can see when I come up here and hover over the menu bar, it will come back and you still have the availability of commands, which is a good thing because there is one more piece that we have to do, and that is to make it portrait mode. Okay, so you go to boot. Come on. Boot. And under boot is a config.txt. And you have to add to the end of this, if it's not already in here somewhere, the line that says display underscore rotate equals either 1 or 3, depending on whether you want to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise. I can't edit it right here because this is a you have to sudo to do that, and I don't know how to do that under the file manager, so I'm going to have to bring up a terminal window to do that. And I'm going to cd to boot. What? Okay, go to the boot directory and sudo nano config.txt. And I'll just come down to the bottom of this. And I'm pretty sure that I need to do a 3, if I remember correctly, because I can always edit this on site. So I'm going to do a display underscore rotate equals 3. Control X, Y for yes, enter to save it in its same place. And now I have to reboot, and when it comes back up, it should be in portrait mode. Of course, I will have to reconnect to the to the remote desktop once it reboots. So I'll give it a few seconds to get there, and then I will hit connect. Pi and my terribly secure password. Now, I do believe that the real screen is rotated as I told it to rotate. However, it doesn't show up in the X window rotated. So I'm gonna plug my HDMI cable back in and boot that up and see if this comes up like it's supposed to, and I'll pop back in here and tell you guys if it did or didn't, because I think when I did this display rotate thing, I was talking about the HDMI connection, not the X Windows connection. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. So it did boot up correctly, but it was rotated the wrong way around. So I'm going to have to go in and change that display rotate 3 to a display rotate 1. But you get the idea. So that's it. I am completely done with the configuring of this unit. I can go slap it down in the pinball machine on Monday, and it should boot up and work just fine. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoy this. I know this is completely different from what we normally do. And hopefully next week we'll be back down at the shed, and we'll get some stuff wrapped up and get to see what it looks like. So thanks a lot for watching, guys.